Hello, welcome to the Just Lucky Show. I am your hostess, Luhuki Angel. On today's episode, we will be communicating, talking, and chatting and getting to know two prominent people in the community. One, a lawyer and an advocate. The other, a musical artist and advocate. So sit back and relax while we get to know some good people. Welcome back. My first guest, I would like to welcome Mr. Malik Zulu Shabazz. How are you, Mr. Malik Zulu Shabazz?
I'm doing fine, and I'm happy to be on the Just Lucky Show. I'm happy to be on with you.
Thank you. I'm happy for you to be here. Yeah. Well, let's start by saying, when I first found out the good news about you being on my talk show, I was excited. I mean, overly ecstatically excited. I know about some of the things that you have accomplished throughout your years of working as a lawyer and an advocate for the community, for the people in the community. Can you elaborate on some of the things that you have done just to start out the show? Just let the people know some of the things that you have done.
And so, yes, many know me in different roles. Right now, I am the national president of Black Lawyers for Justice, which is a national legal organization fighting for the human rights and the legal rights and even the civil rights of our people. I am the chairman emeritus of the new Black Panther Party, meaning I'm the former chairman, but the honorary chairman, really, forever, as long as I'm breathing.
All right.
And so I have that under my belt for 12 years. I did that. I'm a businessman. I'm a real estate developer, and I help people in the community. I help the needy, the suffering. I help the youth, the disabled, the homeless. And so I'm really what I would call, I fight for justice. I fight for the liberation of our people. I like helping people. And I'm a dad.
Okay.
Oh, my little baby, Malik Shabazz.
I love it. I love it. Well, on my show, since you have been on all of those other politically correct shows, today we want to know a little bit about you, Malik Shabazz. We want to know about you.
Is that right?
So during my researching process, I found out that you did attend Howard University right here in Washington, D.C.
Indeed.
I also found out that you were a DJ here in Washington, D.C. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Many people know me at Howard University as the student revolutionary, the right-hand man, the Dr. Khalid Muhammad Louis Farrakhan, and the activist on Howard University.
Right.
And all of the great things that I did there, but they don't know that even prior to that, I was known as DJ King Paris.
That's what I know.
And I was good at that, and I missed those days, and I'm even going to get back to those days.
Oh, really?
I want my turntables back. I love music. I love the hip-hop. I love rap. I came about in the golden age of rap, and so, I like that. And I used to produce parties here in Washington, D.C. I DJ'd. I was with the Defiant Giants. I had an album out in 1990.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was on BET. I've traveled to Japan and done some concert when I was in the rap. Yeah, I do. I had my little stint in the rap game.
So what's your favorite artist No, let me rephrase it. What's your favorite artist that you've mixed on the turntable? Because sometimes
I haven't done that in a while. I haven't done that in a while.
But you said you can go back though. You are from the golden age
well, then you have to,
of the turntables of hip hop.
Golden age, then when I was mixed,
take me there.
Then I want Big Daddy Kane.
Oh yeah.
Rakim.
Those were the ones that you could dance to. Those were the hip hoppers that brought us along.
They were greats and legends. Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Run DMC, Houdini, Ice Cube.
Yes.
NWA.
Yeah, those were the ones.
You know what I'm talking about. Even back in the start of the early 90s, Snoop and Dre and so forth. So
Okay, well, you know, that's funny because I bet you people did not know that about you.
yeah,
Um,
I love music. I love music.
so did you have any hobbies that you do now since you've been older and
Yeah.
more mature and been doing so much advocate stuff? What do you do to release some of the lawyer and advocacy tension to get you out of the stage of being, should I say, professional?
It is true because it can be pressure when you have a lot of responsibilities to your clients, or you're battling the system, or you're organizing for black people,
Heavy shoulders.
or just it's heavy for everybody. So I guess one of my main methods, again, I guess these days, it's the times that I get to relax and have fun and be silly with my daughter.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That has been a great balance in my life, where I just get to be dad and get me, and I get to either watch cartoons or I get to play or things like that. So that's a stress reliever. I like to exercise, work out, shoot some basketball when I can. And
Oh, okay. So so hold on. I don't mean to interrupt you, but you mentioned basketball.
yes,
So I want to ask you what I'm pretty sure viewers want to know. Can you play?
can I play?
Can you play?
Yes.
I mean, I know you got height to you, but you know, I've learned just because you have height to you does not mean that you can actually dunk a ball.
First of all, yes, I can still dunk the ball and I can play, but it ain't like it used to be. But you know, I really could have. When I went to Howard University, to be honest, I forgoed several scholarships offers
wow.
that I had to colleges around America because I wanted to go to a black college. And so,
Okay.
yeah, you know, I played basketball in one of the top high schools in Southern California, #1 ranked in the state.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So we are really getting to know Malik, aren't we? Outside
Well, then I'm
of
like
the
out there
profession.
balling the day though right now. Now, what irritates, I'm gonna be honest and tell you, Queen, what irritates me sometimes, I think it's stereotypical. Now, I know I'm tall, but I really don't like when I'm in the airports and places and they only want to ask me, am I a basketball player? Are you a basketball player? And I have to tell them, no, ma'am, I'm a lawyer. And that sometimes takes them aback.
Yeah, I'm
because
pretty sure they
the
did
black
hear
man
them.
can, I either, you know what I mean, if I have a nice suit on and I'm tall or something, or look like I'm doing well I have to be a basketball player. And I can do, you know,
So
it's
do
a
you
little
play
bit
any other
beyond that.
sports besides basketball? Do you play pool?
So I play pool.
Do you swim?
Man, I like swimming. I like to swim. I like doing some yoga.
Because I know initially you were born in California, right?
Yes, I'm a California man.
So I know Californians love the water.
Yes, and I love the water, and I like sun, and I like, to be honest, I love DC, but I got to get up out of here soon. I got to be in some Bahamas or Jamaica, or I got to be in the islands.
No,
I want to
no,
be in,
no.
I
Those
want
are
to be in
places
California.
we just want you to visit. We want you to stay here.
Well, I do, but I want to visit them soon. I
Right.
do want to visit them soon. I mean, I'm cool right here, but I'm getting in the mood like I do want to see that water and that warm weather and all of that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so to go back to law, was law your first initial thing that you wanted to jump into when you went to college?
Really wasn't, to be honest. I was a political science major in undergrad. And then I tried to go to political science grad school. But then what was happening was I found myself without employment. And no one was hiring when I went to the paper, no one was hiring political scientists.
Right.
Now, my dad was a lawyer before he passed when I was very young.
Right.
And so I had to get in somewhere. So I said, well, look, it's too much. I need to get into law school to see what I can do there. And so then I began to have a love for the law and for the love of even actually the status of being a lawyer and the capacity and the power and the influence to be able to help people and defend people of being a lawyer. So I have to say now, it's the best decision I ever made. 3 years in law school and passing my bar on the first time, that was the best best decisions I ever made in my life.
Wow, so that seemed like it might have been like a calling for it, or a passed down calling, since you just said your dad was one.
I could say that. I could say it's part of divine destiny, because even at times in law school, it was a struggle. And I didn't really know if I wanted to do it. And there was a chance that I wouldn't do it. And so now that I've done it, man, I just say thank God that I have, because it has enabled me to help people. It has enabled me to hold police departments accountable. It has helped me to win people
Yes,
their
it
right
has.
to march and demonstrate. It has helped me hold corporations accountable. It has helped me to compensate people to be able to financially live for years and years in the future. Help me get people out of jail. So, you know, law is an important profession in the black community. Now, everybody don't like lawyers. Now, I got to be honest.
No, they
Sometimes,
don't.
you know, the lawyers are
Call
not
y'all paper chasers.
favored by it, or sometimes they call them lying lawyers. They
Oh
call
yes,
them
they do coordinate with each other.
but
LL.
lawyers are well respected in the black community, you know, and I'm honored to be in that cadre.
Yeah, lawyers serve their purpose when they have a purpose to serve.
When they're
a
doing
circle
when they're
about.
doing the right thing. You know? I'm one of the good ones, I think.
Well, please sit back and relax. When we come back, I have a nice, juicy question that I will be asking Mr. Malik Shabazz. So you will not want to miss that. Hi, welcome back to Just Lucky Show. Now, to my interesting question. Okay, it might not be interesting to y'all, but it's quite interesting to me. So, Mr. Shabazz, I want to know, can you cook?
Can I cook?
Can you cook?
I can
Can
when
you
I
throw
need.
down in the kitchen?
I can when I need to. And I often truly, I can when I need to, and I need to cook when I have my daughter. Because running out and getting food and Denny's and all that and McDonald's does not work. So I have to have some cooking skills in order to cook for my daughter. But, so when I need to. I can't say that I'm always doing it, but if I have to, I will.
So what do you cook? What's your specialty, if you have a specialty?
The times when I cook, I'm gonna be honest, is when I go to a spot like Whole Foods, like when I really want to eat right and I want to get the right kind of organic meats and vegetables and fruits and stuff. And so that's when I'll get into more of my own food preparation.
Okay.
But if I'm running a lot and don't have time to go to Whole Foods or something, then you'll find me at other spots. I believe in eating right. I'll be honest. I like eating right and eating right. I don't eat pork. I don't eat a lot. I don't eat a lot of bread. You know what I mean?
I feel the same way. Eating healthy, have to keep your body tuned, because that's your only lifeline.
True. So I cook mainly with my daughter around, but otherwise I don't cook a lot.
Well, that's good that you're teaching her to eat properly at a young age, so that it'll carry over as she gets older. She'll start to see certain things that people put in front of her for her to eat, and she'll say, I don't eat that. And she'll know already.
That's my prayer. That's my prayer for her. Yeah, I'm hoping
She'll know
so.
already that that's something you're not supposed to put into your body, because it won't treat it well.
Well, that's why I spend that time with her right now while she's 8 and younger, you know, so those things will be instilled in her.
So, again, you don't have a specialty?
Oh, in cooking?
In cooking. You don't have a specialty dish that you could say, you know, I'm going to make this because I can make this, and this is my signature. I can make this.
My signature is a turkey burger. Okay, now let's not get carried away here. My signature.
Okay, we're not going to have a
Geraldo
Geraldo interview today. Okay.
Okay. Well, I hope not.
No, we're not going to have a Geraldo interview. We're just talking about food. So turkey burgers, huh? Okay. So, what do you put on your turkey burgers? Because you know I love to eat. I love to
Yes,
eat,
ma'am.
be it if I eat celery or carrot sticks or a good salad. I'm an eating person. So how do you make your turkey burgers? Share. We're trying to get to know Mr. Malik. I mean, you share your advocacy stuff. You break down what you do in the community. Let's break down what you do.
I mean, a turkey burger is just very simple. It's
But if it's your signature, it's your signature.
It may not be much of a signature. Now, I am a man now. I have to be honest. The cooking mainly belongs to women and the queens and the goddesses. That is their specialty. I can do it, but you are the queen and you are the master of that, talking to you and the black woman in general. So, but yeah, so I mean, yeah, I can make me some burgers and spaghetti, and I can put some fish in the pan and season it up and chop up some onions. I mean, I get down to the recipes, and I'm not one of them natural people that can take all them herbs and bell peppers and stuff and just, you know. But I can follow a recipe. I have to follow the damn recipe, you know. But
Okay.
you know, I can do that. I can tell you this: when the mother of my child was pregnant, I cooked for 3 weeks straight, all meals, all day, all night, and I was rocking.
Kudos to you.
Because she couldn't do that, and I was rocking. I mean, I was cooking everything then.
And I know she was very shocked, surprised, happy, excited, and shocked. Look, I had to end with shocked.
And probably a few other things too.
A few other things that we cannot say.
Probably a few other things too.
On that or TV, we can't.
But
say
I just
that.
say it out to say I can. When I do it, I can do it when I want to do it. You know.
As long as when you're doing it, it's from the heart.
It is, but
and
I still say it's the primarily responsibility of our queens and our goddesses.
We're going to stray away from that because I'm such a feminist that I don't believe that a woman has her place anymore in society. So we're just going to veer off of that. Or it will really turn into a Geraldo interview.
But you like cooking yourself, don't you?
I'd prefer for a man to cook for me. So
comment.
I was going to say, maybe this table might need to be moved because the Geraldo interview might occur.
Okay, because you know, I believe that the kitchen and the home is a woman's base. It might not necessarily be her only place, but the home and the kitchen is absolutely her base. You know, I believe that, Miss Feminist.
And I do know you believe that, but me being the feminist woman that I am, I will always be on a woman's side. Good. Always be on a woman's side. And I don't believe a woman has her place. And in my preferity, I prefer for a man to cook for me and for me to lay back and relax and chill. But I also believe he should work. And I'm working.
Okay.
I also believe we both should be career bound.
All right. It's a good philosophy. It's a good philosophy.
But I do believe we both could also share the responsibilities. But for the kitchen, I believe he could be in the kitchen cooking while I'm off doing my career also.
I'm gonna let you laugh at that. Let you laugh at that theory.
So yeah, I'm gonna say me and you, we could come together on the career boundness. Let's just say we agree upon that both can have a career, but we might not agree on both should be in the kitchen. Is
this a show or a negotiation?
Well, since it's my talk show, I think it could be a little bit of both. Isn't that something? So, well, you know, viewers, if you want to, you can let us know what you think. Should it be a negotiation, or are we right or wrong? I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that because my name's not Geraldo, it's Luhuki Angel.
Go ahead, Lucky. Lucky, you've got a future in this business, I think. You have a future in this business.
Thank you, and I'm going to take that to heart and use that as something that I'm going to spearhead to other people.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you very much for saying that.
All right.
So do you have anything else planned in the near future, possibly this year or next year, for the community?
Yes, I do. I'm fighting hard in Washington, D.C. on several issues. You'll hear more from me in terms of my lawsuits against the D.C. Police Department for excessive force and randomly stopping, stripping, and searching our people. So more against Black Lawyers for Justice and me dealing with the D.C. Police Department in their cases. You should hear more from me in terms of the efforts here in Washington, D.C. against gentrification and, you know, to be able for our people in this city to maintain their presence and their base. And I'm trying to help them to be able to hold on to these land, these houses, these property, as it's a rapidly changing city. So you'll hear from me in terms of the legal fight. You'll hear from me for gentrification. In general, well, next year, 2015, I'm sponsoring and I'm co-sponsoring a worldwide convention on Pan-Africanism in South Africa.
Oh, wow.
So I'm trying to take about maybe 100 from the United States of America to South Africa or Azania and Zimbabwe. That's June next year. We're organizing now for those that are into our people in Africa. And so I'll do that. And in general, ma'am, I feel like I'm on a spiritual mission. There are many people I've been able to touch throughout my life. They expect things out of me. And they have hope in me. And so really I like to, I see myself touching people and helping to lift their spirits and helping to redeem them. And even, so I'm kind of in the resurrection business, you know.
Right.
As I go around, the signals that come to me, that God tells me that he put me here to do what I've done for a certain reason. I mean something to certain people's lives. Yes. So I have to talk with them, inspire them, communicate with them. So I'll be out there. I'm just going to be out here in the vineyard working amongst my people. So I'm excited about the future.
Right. Well, to go back to what we spoke on earlier, you know, when you said how you became a lawyer, I felt that was your calling. Like when you spoke on your dad becoming it, it was like, I felt that's your calling. And now as your path is being processed for you and you're walking it, it has been your path.
That's true.
It's like everything has been laid out for you and you're just following in it. It's like your life has already been written and you're the character just following the path that you're supposed to be following.
You speak deeply and you speak heavily when you speak to that. And you speak to the subject of what's called predestination. And even though we all have free will to do what we will do to succeed or fail in life, I can say from my perspective, you might be able to say it from yours, but I can say from my perspective that my life is a life of destiny. And that even if I try to escape what I have to do for my people, the liberation of the black man and black woman, for me, even if I try to escape it, God will put me right back on that path.
Yeah.
And I can't escape it, and I don't want to escape it.
It was
and
written.
so really, I agree with you. That's a very heavy statement you made.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
You feel that about yourself?
I do feel that about myself. It's been times when I've wanted personally veer away from having a career in media, people personally, but I seem to be coming right back on the path. I'll say no and then come right back. So yeah, me personally, I've been on the same path and come right back to it. So I feel that it has been written for me also. And you know, a lot of times when it's been written, you can't erase it.
It's true.
And a lot of times when it has been written for people, some people don't follow that path. It comes to them and it constantly comes to them and they still don't follow that path. And that's when they become lost. And that's when they tend to want to find themselves, but it's not the point of them finding themselves, it's just the point about them embracing what has already been found to them.
Well, you know, our people are multifaceted people. They like serious subject matters and they like entertainment. They like to have fun. And so you may be able to strike that balance. You have that kind of look and that kind of aura where you could succeed in this industry, you know, in terms of the entertainment, but also what we call the edutainment, the education part of it. And you could mix it in together in this format.
I hope to.
Your destiny may be fulfilled in this arena.
And I hope it is.
You could be a standout.
I truly, truly hope it is. And I want to thank you so much.
Yes,
from the bottom of my heart, from the top of it, from all around it, from my aura, SS, from my everything. I want to thank you for being on my show because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people have never probably seen a nicer side of Mr. Malik Shabazz.
And I like the opportunities.
But they're seeing it on my show.
I like the opportunity to have that. Thank you so much. My honor to you.
Thank you. Next up, I will have my next guest will be Janae, and she will be coming on soon. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the Just Lucky Show. I am your hostess, Lucky Angel, and I am here with the phenomenal Janae. I feel very blessed and very happy that you are here on my show. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Angel. I'm very honored and humbled to be here. So, I just want to talk to you about, what's going on with me and anything else that you need or want to know.
Thank you. I'm really excited that you're on here. I'm a fan. Let's just start off with that first and foremost, because it's very, very few people whose music that I can actually say that I am a fan of. And I mean fan, not just being that it comes on the radio or I listen to it or somebody will play it. A fan being that I will play it on my phone.
Right.
And it'll be a theme song while I'm walking in Metro, going to work and bopping my head.
That's good.
And tuning everything out and can just listen to it.
Okay.
I appreciate what you're doing for the music industry.
Right. Thank you so much.
To just say that first and foremost. Okay. So to start off, what made you want to do music? What was your niche?
Well, I started at really a young age. I learned how to play, or my father actually got me into piano lessons. And I took piano for about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I took classical piano, and I played the clarinet in high school and a little bit of the guitar. But I've always been a poet. I've always written poetry at a very young age. And so I think when I don't know, I just think that I decided to blend the two. And I've just always been into expressing myself. So for a while too, people would tell me, you could sing based on my raspy. I have a very raspy voice.
Right.
So I got to thinking like, maybe I can combine the two. And I grew up on the old school hip hop, MC Lyte and Queen Latifah and Salt and Pepper. And
heavy hitters.
Yeah, definitely heavy hitters. And so I just thought it was a great way to express myself. And I'm somewhat of a complicated person. I have a lot of emotions. So and as I've gotten older, I just definitely enjoy it because I feel I can relate to someone else, or someone else can relate to something that I'm talking about or going through. So it just propelled from there.
Okay, well, it's weird because when you said poetry, I found out in dealing with and speaking to a lot of artists that's how they got their start.
Exactly.
By writing poetry, and they turned it into music.
Right.
So, who is your favorite poet?
You know what? I would have to say, my mom had a very good friend who died of cancer some years ago. Her name was Sarah. But she had written a poetry book. And that's actually, that poetry book, I'm sorry I can't remember the name of it, but I still have it at my mom's house. Just her poems would bring tears to my eyes, and some would just make me bust out laughing.
Right.
She was a straight shooter. Sarah was really a wonderful, wonderful character, wonderful woman. But I really got deep into her book. But I'm a big fan of Maya Angelou. And I did, I guess, back in high school, and when you took English and poetry and things like that, the classes, get into like, Langston Hughes. It's quite a few, but I don't know. No one knows who she is like that on a grand scale, but she was very close to our family.
Right. No one has to know, as long as you know, and that was your start.
Yeah.
That's the beginning.
Yeah, her book was amazing. So I'll have to give you the title when I find it. I just can't remember it right now.
Please do, because I love poetry personally myself. I love it. So I would Google her or try to look up some of her work.
Okay, sounds good.
So what type of music are you into?
Well,
I know you rap.
Right.
But outside of you rapping, what type of music are you also interested in?
I'm a big fan of, I like pop, I like rock. I'm a big fan of Maroon 5. Yeah, those are my boys.
That's a shocker.
Those are my boys.
Okay.
I like all kinds of music. It doesn't matter, really, to me. Music is music. Whether however you want to quantify it, to each his own. But if it speaks to me, then I'm rocking with it. It really doesn't matter. I don't really get into too many genres, although mine is hip hop, a little bit more soul. But I really love all music as long as it's positive, you know, and somewhat uplifting, and just has a message. That's
Right.
really important to me. So it really,
Right.
for me, it doesn't matter the genre. I like all music.
Yeah, I understand about that because when you named Queen Latifah and MC
Right,
Light,
right.
every song that they had produced came out
Yeah,
with, even
yeah.
a hook on somebody else's album had a message,
Yeah, yeah.
a positive
Message, exactly.
message.
Yes.
And it wasn't even a positive message that you didn't catch it.
Right, right.
You caught
right,
it.
Right.
Right off
Right.
the bat when they spoke it, you caught it.
Right.
And that's the kind of vibe I get from your music.
Yeah.
When you speak it, you catch it right off the bat.
Right, right.
So that's another good thing. So I would categorize you with those type of women. So how do you feel?
I love that.
I gotta ask you about
Right.
this,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure the women that are watching this also want to know,
Right.
how do you feel about hip hop now in the, I don't even want to say 2014. I just
Right,
want to
right.
say in the 2000s.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm like this. We're all artists, and everybody, you know, has their niche. Everybody has their lane.
Right.
Me, I like to stay in my lane, and
Right.
I'm very comfortable with who I am and what I do and what I project. As far as the place of hip hop right now, especially amongst women, I mean, I personally think, you know, it's a lot missing in the sense of going back to the message.
Yes.
I know it's hard for us, you know, it's pretty much a male-dominated industry, but again, people do what they feel they have to do to make it and to get out. And me, I just want, you know, I have a child, so I look at it a little
Right.
differently as well. I'm all about what's said and again the message, and to me, I know I want to uplift, I want to make people think, and I think we've gotten away from that.
Okay.
I know everybody can pop bottles. I mean, I love I enjoy a party just as much as the next person.
Yes.
So I'm not trying to say I don't, but
Right.
to me it's just more than life with everything going on around the planet.
Exactly.
And even in our own communities and in our schools and things like that, in our families, it just seems to me there's just a lot other things to talk about other than, you know, rims or turning up or, you know, how much money you making, how many girls you getting, how many guys you faking, whatever you know, want to talk about.
Exactly.
So I tend to just focus on those things that I know real, you know, the day-to-day person and the day-to-day woman are going through. And a lot of the day-to-day women aren't living that life, you know, they're struggling.
not.
So
Yes.
I just, you know, be it with being a single mom or being just trying to make it, you know, just every day, the plight that we go through. So I just want to let people know I'm real, I feel you, I understand it, and we're going to talk about it.
Exactly. Yes.
yeah.
And I completely 100%, if I could go higher than 100%, I would.
You can make it up if you want to.
I completely agree with you on that sense.
Right.
Just the fact that it's a turn up. Like everybody's song, they want to turn up.
Right.
Okay, that's given.
Right.
But not in everybody's song. It's the struggling mom that turned her life around, that
Right.
made something of herself.
Exactly.
But she can still turn up though.
Right. I mean, I'm not.
You know what I'm
you
saying?
Don't, with
But
no judging,
we
no
not
passing judging.
She can still turn
Right,
up.
right.
But she can go to work. She can take care of kids.
Right. Go to school
Go
at
to
the same
school
time.
at the same time.
Hey, I understand. I
Look,
did
put
it.
her
Yeah.
kids through college
Right.
at the same
Exactly.
time.
Exactly.
And look, and turn up Friday night
Right.
at the
Right.
same
Right.
time.
And look good while doing
Look,
all of
and
it.
at the same time.
Yes. All of that.
Look, knock on
Right.
wood.
Right. You got
Look,
it.
we had to throw a little hip hop in there,
Right,
all of
right.
that at the same time.
I got you, Angel. I got you.
So they don't hit on that.
Right,
But
right.
I get that you do. So it's a plight with it all. It's like it's levels to it. It's certain levels aren't being hit in the 2000s
Right.
that were being hit
Right.
in the
90s.
19. I would say in the 1900s.
You taking it way back.
Cause it's just like
No, I understand.
I say the 1900s because it's like women were we didn't have power in the 1900s.
Right.
We were afforded power in the 1900s.
Right.
Then we took power in the 1900s.
Right.
Then we gained power in the
Right.
1900s.
Right.
Then we had power in the 1900s. Then the 2000s came, and it's like, where did our power go?
Well, you know, I think it's just perception, and I think it's shifted, you know, into what people feel. Basically, comes down to what is your definition of power. And to me, success and power has nothing to do with material. It has to do with character.
Yeah.
And it has to do with, you know, again, what do you leave and deposit with other people?
Right.
When the Lord takes me, I don't want, nobody's going to remember what I have on, how much money I have, any of that. They're going to, but I want them to remember, especially my daughter, is the type of person that I was. That's more important than anything. You know, the legacy that you leave. You can't take any of this with you when it's time to go. So I just think it's the perception or the definition. People have different definitions or thoughts of what power and success is.
Yes.
To me, a lot of it just deals with humility, working hard, having integrity with everything you do.
Yes.
Not that you're not flawed and we won't make mistakes, because no one's perfect.
Yes.
But yeah, that's for me. And so I have a more peaceful life. You know, I go through ups and downs, but I'm more content with things because,
indeed.
you know, I have everything prioritized the way, you know, that works for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're going to take a break real quick. And then when we come back, we're going to touch on something that's very dear and near to Janae and might be dear and near to some of y'all and very interesting. So don't go anywhere. You know, on the Just Lucky show, we're going to talk about it all, except for politics and religion. I'll be right back. Thank you. Hello, welcome back to the Just Lucky show. I am your hostess, Lucky Angel, and I'm sitting here with the phenomenal Janae.
Hey, Lucky.
Okay, today we're going to be discussing a very dear subject to a lot of people. Multiple sclerosis, some might know it as MS. My guest, Janae,
Yes.
is a person that was diagnosed with it. We're going to touch on that a little bit. Janae,
Yes.
some people might not really know what it is.
Right. Basically, in a nutshell, multiple sclerosis is considered an immune deficiency illness,
Right.
but it attacks the nervous system and along with muscles and joints as well. There are 4 phases to it.
Right.
The phase 1 is the mildest phase, and 2, 3 to 4 is more progressive.
Okay.
Phase 4, actually, there have been victims of death,
Right.
and a lot of people between phase 3 and phase 4 become crippled.
Right.
And again, it debilitates the movement and it attacks the nerves. And there's a sac that protects a lot of the nerves called the myelin shaft, and the disease attacks that,
Right.
leaving the nerves exposed
Okay.
to other damage and other things that are going on. But what happens is, obviously, if there's no protection of the nerves,
Right.
then the body's unable to communicate to certain parts, which
Right.
can cause the debilitation and crippleness. But I am in phase 1.
Okay.
And I am constantly going to the doctor, getting x-rays. I have lesions in my brain and in my spine.
Right.
But initially it was diagnosed because I was dealing with very, very painful headaches. I thought I had migraines
Right.
back in 2008. And I went to a new doctor and told him all my symptoms. I'd been keeping a journal, and he ordered CT scans.
Right.
And from that point, they did spinal taps to make sure, because it kind of corresponds with lupus.
Okay.
They couldn't tell, or even Lyme disease.
Right.
But to be certain, they had to do spinal taps. And after the results came back from the spinal taps, that's when I was officially diagnosed with having MS.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, for the people out there, just to do a little equating, for people that might have just heard it but not really technically know what it's about, can you name a celebrity that possibly might be suffering from it, so they'll be able to go, so that's what it is.
What is, I can't think of it. The
Montel
Williams.
Okay.
Correct. He is.
He's a huge
yes,
advocate.
Yes, he is.
Huge advocate.
And I
for
believe, if I'm correct, I believe Shamar Moore from Criminal Minds.
Right.
Mom has it. So
Okay.
he is a very
He's
big
a huge advocate for it
as
also.
well.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Okay. So now they can equate it with it, because I know sometimes when you tell people about certain illnesses
Right.
that a person may have, they'll go, what is that?
Yes.
And then even when you explain it to
Right.
them, they'll still go, I still don't understand it.
Right.
But then when you put a spotlight on who may have it that's in the
Exactly.
public eye,
Right, a face behind it.
right, it'll bring a light into their head, and they'll go, so that's what
Exactly.
it is.
Exactly.
And then they'll start to understand it a little bit better.
Right.
And start to relate to it a little bit better. Maybe not relate to it as the feeling of it, but they'll relate to it to understand what you might be going through.
Exactly.
Because they know what he's been going through,
Exactly.
or they might be going through.
Right. I understand.
So how has it affected your life, if it has affected your life, which I'm pretty sure it has?
Yes, it's, I believe the biggest comment made to most people who live with MS is, you don't look sick.
You don't look
Yeah,
it.
you don't look sick. And for me, that's sometimes frustrating.
Yes, I bet it is.
But I get it, because it's really an internal,
Right.
disease. And the thing about MS is everyone who has it suffers differently.
Right.
We may have out of 10 symptoms, out of 10 symptoms, I may have 5 that you have.
Right.
Then you'll have the other 5 that I've never experienced,
Right.
and I'll have another 5 that you've never experienced.
Right.
They also ever changing.
Yes.
The past year I've taken on 1 or 2 new symptoms that I have to deal with. So when things like that happen, I'm always calling my doctor.
Right.
But honestly, my faith pretty much negates all of what I deal with the pain. I do take time to make sure that I'm getting myself together, to
Right.
make sure that I'm resting, because fatigue is a big symptom of
Right.
the disease. But I just try to take time to meditate, to pray, and to, just have my me time and do a little bit of research, find out
Yeah.
what new medicines are coming out, because they always have medicine. I
Yeah.
personally would not get on it, because a lot of it is steroid based.
Yes.
And I was more doing holistic
Okay.
concoctions, and I juice a lot and just watch what I eat. But recently I have visited my doctor, and they have a pill, because the medicine was shot induced. It was always, you had to get
wow.
injections at different frequencies.
Yeah.
And I just, for my lifestyle and being a single mom and having a toddler, I just couldn't do that. And with the side effects,
Yeah, that's
they knock you
understandable.
out.
Yeah.
So I am now looking into actually getting on the pill. They've had it since
yeah.
last year,
Wow.
tested it, and my neurologist is very positive about the results from that. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, for me, it doesn't really, slow the boat.
Right.
I take the time I need to take to do what I have to do regarding the disease, but really I focus on what I'm doing. I don't have time to be down or debilitated. So it's
Right.
kind of mind over matter. And again, my
Yeah.
faith. I'm very driven with my music. It's certain things I know that are in my destiny. So I try to put that before anything that I'm dealing with regarding the MS. And I have a 4-year-old looking at me every day. So I really don't have a choice but to keep it moving. So
Right.
that's really how I deal with it.
Well, I love your positivity towards it, and me personally, I know you're an advocate for it.
Right.
I know you speak highly for it.
Right.
And I know you work personally with them.
Yes, I do.
So I totally commend you for that.
Thank you.
Just
Thank you.
me personally commending you
I
for
appreciate
it.
that.
So how has it helped you in your writing and musically?
Well, when you live with pain and the symptoms that come that much, it definitely touches in or taps into something a little deeper.
Yes, yes it does.
So for me, and it may sound morbid, but for me, pain fuels me.
No,
it just
I
opens
understand
up
it.
a
I
lot of
understand it.
channels and a lot of creativity. Because you do, I mean, we can all walk out here and possibly get hit by a bus, but when
Right.
you're living with an illness that's considered to known cause deaths, it puts
Right.
things into a different perspective for me.
Right.
So I just tap into that. So yeah, I've gotten a lot of my songs. I won't say I get criticized, but people sometimes get shocked because they're like, I'm such an upbeat, positive person, which I am. But they're like, wow, you know, that was kind of a dark song, or that was kind of a
Yeah.
painful song, but it's real.
It is.
You know, it's real. So that's all I write about. I don't write about things I have never done or things I
Yeah,
have never
that's-
experienced.
That's good.
So,
That's real.
yeah.
That's good because sometimes if you were to write about stuff that you never experienced, it'll come back to you and people ask you about it.
Yeah. Now, unless I write a song called "My Dreams," and then I can get a disclaimer in there that
Right,
hey,
it's like,
that
well, you
the
know what?
title was "My Dreams."
Dream.
So
I didn't technically say that.
but on everything else I write, it's just what I've been through, and I actually have a spoken word piece I'm going to have on the EP called MS, and I think you guys enjoy it. So,
Well, that's good. I find that, I was speaking of destiny. I'm such a person now. I believe that a person's path is written for them.
Yes.
And it's just upon that person
Right.
to follow it, to read it and
Right,
follow it.
right.
And I don't mean technically for them to read it. I mean for their body
Right. No,
to
I
read it
understand.
and follow that path.
Right,
The
right.
invisible words on that red
Exactly.
path to follow it.
Right.
And I really think yours was also done for you. I
Yes.
think maybe, not to be morbid, but maybe that was happened to you because that helped your writing.
Oh no, without question, I don't complain about it. I'm not mad at God about it. I know without a shadow of a doubt that I was charged with this disease, if that makes sense.
Right, and yes, it does.
I know that He gave it to me. I mean, this is my path, and
Yes.
He knows what I can bear, and I take it with pride. And
Right.
if it can help someone else, if He uses me as a catalyst to help somebody else,
Exactly, that's it.
then that's the main objective to all of it then, is to get someone else who feels they can't do anything because they're sick. It doesn't have to be MS. It could be cancer, it could be leukemia, it could be anything. It could be lupus, and just realize that you're still here. Now, do I get up?
Exactly.
Do I get down sometimes? Yes, we're all
Right.
human, but the point is getting up, and we're all here. You have time. You woke up this morning, so regardless of what your hardships are, first they can always be worse. But
Yes.
second, whatever you're dealing with, you can get over it. And and if you are dealing with a time-sensitive issue, I lost my dad to cancer, and it took him like that.
Right.
But then just enjoy the moments while you're here.
Right.
So I definitely don't complain about having it. I don't look for any sympathy with it. I just do what I have to do as if I didn't have it,
Exactly.
and
right.
just again keep it moving. But yeah, it's definitely personal to me in the sense that, I like you said, not sounding morbid, but
Right.
I thank God for whatever His reason He put that on me. So I'm gonna use it and do the best I can with it to help other people, because I do believe that's what it's all about anyway.
Yeah, I think you do inspire people that you do come across, and I think this will help people to actually see that you technically don't have to be immobilized
Right.
by illness.
Right. That's in your head.
That's in your head.
That's
right.
in your head. And again, not with going if it does actually affect the limbs, because
Right.
it does.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, be blessed, be thankful.
Exactly.
That's in your head. There's something my dad always called mental freedom, and
Yes, indeed.
that's something that I just won't allow. I won't allow my mind to be caged or put in any kind of box of what I can and cannot do, even living with MS.
Right.
And that's so. And again, you're right. It's like now that I realize I have it, I've been diagnosed with it, I'm even more charged up to get out there and to press forward and to do what I have to do. So no No mental prisons
No, right,
here.
no-
we
no
don't
mental
do that. Yeah,
caging,
no mental
exactly.
cages, because we do that to ourselves a lot.
Yes, because that will hold you back.
It really
from,
will. It really
from
will.
doing a lot of stuff,
Right.
and then, you know, as they say, the world doesn't stop for you, but your mind will hold you back while the world is continuing.
To go on, right?
And then once your mind frees you and you go into that world that's been continuing,
right,
you're lost.
Exactly. And that's why it's crucial not to get caught up into that. Just stay the course, and you have to be in tune with yourself as a person
Yes,
too.
you got to know
and you
yourself.
have to know yourself, and you have to know what
Yes,
works for
indeed.
you doesn't work for everybody else.
Yes.
And what works for them doesn't work for you. As long as you're comfortable with that and have that balance, you'll be okay. But, you know, I'm just an advocate of don't quit.
I love it.
Don't quit. Keep moving. And, you know, because when you're gone, and you can't get that back. So while you're here, make the most of it.
Well, Janae, I'm going to end it at that because I love what you just said.
Thank you, Angel.
I couldn't have said it no better. I want to thank you for
you.
being on my show.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that when people see this, you will inspire, you will touch, and people probably will be reaching out to you to ask you, how do you do it?
Right. No problem.
Because I see you on the stage like this with your mic hip-hopping it up. And you
that's
be
what I
straight
do.
real live with it.
That's what I do.
Look, you be turned up, okay?
I'll be turned up for that.
You be turned up for that.
And that's it.
Right. I seen it.
Yeah.
And it's positive
Yes,
turned up,
yes,
though.
yes,
I seen
yes,
it.
it's a
And
must.
it's a good thing.
Right, right.
So I want to thank you for being on
No
here.
problem,
Keep doing
babe. No
what you're
problem.
doing,
Thank
sweetie,
you.
because
Thank
you're
you.
doing it the right way.
I appreciate that.
And let your body keep reading that path that it was written.
Okay.
Thank you
No
so
problem.
much.
Thank you for having me.
And I want to thank Malik Shabazz, and I want to thank Janae for being on the Just Lucky show. I am your hostess, Just Lucky. And understand this, know thyself. Your mind does not have to be caged to be living in a world that keeps going on.